Hello, I'm Lloyd Rule, aka Mega Blitz. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a deck that can hit the active for some pretty decent damage, spread damage counters, manipulate those damage counters, and be able to lock our opponent entirely out of the game. And this deck is rather consistent as well. And I'm really excited to showcase this deck because it's been a deck that I've been playing relatively a lot recently, and I feel like it's really underrated in our format. So let's jump right in to that deck list. Already here at that deck list, Dragapult, Iron Thorns. Now, this deck has a lot of moving pieces going on. So first I want to start off with the Iron Thorns EX with its ability Initialization. As long as Pokemon's in your active spot, Pokemon with a rule box in play, both yours and your opponents have no abilities, except for future Pokemon. Has an attack for 1 Lightning, double colorless, Volt Cyclone, 140. Move energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. So we're playing 4 copies of that Iron Thorns there. And we have 3 copies of the Dragapult EX with that Terra ability. As long as Pokemon's on your bench, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks, yours and your opponents. It's got the Jet Headbutt for 1 energy for 70 damage, and then Phantom Dive for a Fire and a Psychic Energy, 200 damage. Put 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon in any way you like. On top of that, we have not only 4 Dreepy, but 4 Drakloak for that Recon Directive. Once during your turn, look at the top 2 cards. 1 to the hand, the other 1 to the bottom. So nice, good draw engine going there, on top of having the control aspect and the attacking aspect of not only Iron Thorns, but and the Dragapult with that damage counter manipulation and kind of spreading it. But the more manipulation part comes from the Radiant Alakazam with its ability Painful Spoons. Once in your turn, move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another one of their Pokemon, and then has an attack 20 times for a Psychic and a normal energy. This attack does 20 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. So not a bad attack in a pinch if you need it. But that Painful Spoons helps us be able to move those damage counters that we're going to be having from that Phantom Dive with our Dragapult to set up some pretty key knockouts throughout multiple games. We also have the Toedscool and Toedscruel here with its ability Slime Mold Colony. Cards in your opponent's discard pile can't be put into their hand by an effect of your opponent's abilities or trainer cards. So really helpful into like the Regidrogo matchup and things that are playing like Superior Energy Retrieval and stuff like that. So really helpful to kind of slow down a lot of decks and really just kind of have a little bit more control element to it. Then we have, well, of course, 1 copy of the Klefki with the Mischievous Locks. Pokemon's in the active spot. Base Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponents have no abilities except for Mischievous Locks. So really nice to be able to kind of have that just start the Klefki. None of your stuff has abilities. Good luck. Also helps with like stall and stuff like that as well. Its attack, Joust for 10. Before doing damage, discard all Pokemon tools from your opponent's active Pokemon. Really good in the Gardevoir matchup, being able to just like discard Bravery Charm and take a knockout. It's pretty cool. And then for the trainers here, probably the biggest one that I really want to point out is 4 copies of Crispin. Search deck for up to 2 basic energy cards of different types. Reveal them, put 1 into your hand, and attach the other one to one of your Pokemon. So effectively, you're able to attach 2 energy in a turn, because you can attach 1 for turn, and then you can attach another one for the Crispin, and then potentially grab maybe a 3rd energy if you already have 1 in your hand with the Crispin to kind of follow up that next turn. So going first, you're able to kind of start Iron Thorns, attach, pass, Crispin, and then you're attacking, which is pretty cool. So especially considering the fact that we have, you know, very specific energy requirements for a lot of these Pokemon, being, you know, Dragapult needs a Fire and a Psychic to be able to use Phantom Dive. Iron Thorns still needs that Lightning energy to be able to attack, so effectively you would like to just go, okay, attach whatever energy for turn, Crispin, get a Lightning on, get, you know, Psychic or Fire on or whatever, and then Volt Cyclone, take maybe a 1-prize knockout or hit something at least, and then have the Disruption limit with the Initialization, and then moving the energies from the Volt Cyclone to your Drakloak or Dragapult or what have yous. 4 Arven, 2 Iono, 2 Boss, 1 Turo Scenario, 4 Pokégear, 2 Ultra Ball, 1 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, 1 Lost Vacuum, Precious Trolley for our ace spec of choice. Being able to get set up really quickly is something we really need to do in this deck. Search your deck for up to any number of basic Pokemon, put them onto your bench. So being able to just go, okay, fill my whole bench with everything I need to be able to go, okay, I got 2 Dreepy, I got my Radiant Alakazam, I got an extra Iron Thorns, go. Is pretty helpful. 1 Earthen Vessel, 1 Rare Candy, 1 Switch, 1 Night Stretcher, 1 Counter Catcher, 2 Technical Machine Evolution. So if we are going second, we can just go, okay, Technical Machine Evolution, and then evolve our Dreepy into Drakloaks or our Toedscool into Toedscruel and stuff like that. 1 Feature Booster Energy Capsule, 4 of the Iron Thorns, 1 Rescue Board, 4 Psychic, 4 Fire, and 2 Lightning energy. So now let's jump right in to that gameplay. Already, here we are at that Dragapult Iron Thorns gameplay here at the coin flip. Like I said, going first or second is, in this deck, not really something we care too much about. If we go second, we have Technical Machine Evolution, so we can evolve our stuff quickly. And then if we go first, we can just attach return, start applying early on pressure, and stuff like that. We do prefer first over second, I feel like, most of the time into a lot of the matchups. So I'm going to like to go first here. Try to get just some stuff set up, get the trolley rolling, get everything kind of set up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have that Dreepy here in the active spot, which isn't too bad. We kind of like to start with Iron Thorns is pretty good, or even Klefki is a nice key card to start with as well. Bench the Dreepy here. We're going to have that trolley. We're going to go with Iron Thorns, Radiant Alakazam, Toedscool, and just another Dreepy. I feel like just having one Thorns is probably fine. We're going to attach to the Dreepy, and we're actually going to retreat here because I'm going to be able to go into the Iron Thorns and go, okay, you can't Squawk and Seize, and you can't conceal cards unless you have Boss or Prime Catcher. That's kind of where this is at right now. So we were able to kind of shut our opponent down pretty early. We see a Charcadet come down, maybe playing against maybe some Arc Armourouge or Ceruledge. We're going to see a Palkia come down. So we're probably against Palkia V-Star with Ceruledge. They're going to put the Jamming Tower, which is actually a pretty good card in this matchup because now I can't retreat really out of my Iron Thorns or Rescue Board or anything. And we only play one Lost Vacuum in the deck, so definitely something kind of interesting. And we didn't have the attach return. Well, we had the attach return, but we attached it to the Dreepy. So we're going to go Crispin here, get the Fire Energy and the Lightning to that Iron Thorns, evolve Toedscool into Toedscruel, and Pokégear, find ourselves in Arven. So we're going to have another energy in hand too to be able to just kind of go in for the next turn. We also have Night Stretcher as well. Being able to kind of slow our opponent down has been very helpful. We top deck the Crispin, which is huge here. We're actually going to just play the Arven here. And I could have grabbed Vacuum to get rid of the Jamming Tower, but I'm actually going to grab Technical Machine Evolution because I don't really need it in this matchup, I feel like right now. We've kind of got our opponent in a really nice situation when they're top decking. They don't have anything going on. And we can't use Technical Machine Evolution, unfortunately. So we're going to attach the energy to that Iron Thorns, Volt Cyclone, taking 2 prize cards on the Squawkabilly EX, moving that Fire Energy to the Dreepy here, putting us in a 4-6 split. And we're going to get a Dragapult off of our prize cards and another Technical Machine Evolution as well. Now, I don't know if actually this is a bug in the game or if this just happens because Jamming Tower is in play. I'm going to assume it's a bug because it should still get discarded, but Technical Machine Evolution gets stuck on my Iron Thorns, which I find kind of interesting. So that's just stuck there and I can't get rid of it, so I couldn't attach anything else if I wanted to because I think the game ended up glitching out a little bit. But they're going to evolve their Ceruledge, their Charcadet into Ceruledge, get some energy on that Radiant Greninja, unfortunately, as well for us. So we're trying to get some stuff evolved quickly if we can, and trying to get just these Dreepies into Drakloaks or a Dragapult, but we can't, and we can't pass up the 2 prize knockout on the Palkia as well. So we're gonna take another 2 prize cards here, putting us at a 2-6 split. But our opponent gonna have that 3rd energy to be able to go Moonlight Shuriken, take 2 knockouts on 2 Dreepies that we've been setting up over the course of the next couple turns. So those are going to get knocked out, putting us to a 2-4 split. Now, I will be able to take a knockout on this Radiant Greninja, but I'm still going to need another prize card. I will only have 1 prize card left, which isn't really ideal for us. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be able to attach an energy to our Iron Thorns this turn. But we're going to have the Pokégear first, kind of whiff, trying to find maybe a Crispin or something. Could have been pretty good, but we're going to go Arven here, Ultra Ball into the Future Booster Energy Capsule. Ultra Ball going to pitch the Machine Evolution, and we're going to pitch that Lightning Energy. Grab ourselves that Drakloak here. Going to be able to evolve the Dreepy into Drakloak, and I could have actually just grabbed Rare Candy, but I really wanted to Recon Directive to try to find my way into like a Boss's Orders or an Iono if they take another knockout or something. And we're also applying a good amount of pressure, and I don't have to worry about them Moonlight Shuriken again because they don't have Palkia in play, and Iron Thorns is in the active spot. Plus, I'm KOing the Radiant Greninja to put us at a 1-4 split. So they're going to throw up the Ceruledge EX here. They're trying to find Research or a Carmine or something, and there's going to Abyssal Flames for 90, unfortunately, here. Now, the other part that is unfortunate for us is our Iron Thorns is kind of just stuck in the active spot right now. We can't have Turo. We don't have our Future Booster Energy Capsule or anything like that. So we're just going to kind of keep going through the deck here. We're going to Night Stretcher, get an energy at the discard pile. And we can't Radiant Alakazam or anything like that. Not only because they don't have damage counters in play, but our Iron Thorns actually shuts off our own Radiant Alakazam. So you do usually want your Iron Thorns to get knocked out at some point. You only really ever need one most of the time in a lot of these matchups here. So we're going to attach the energy after evolving our Drakloak into Dragapult, Volt Cyclone, going to move that Psychic Energy to our Dragapult EX. Now, not only the consistency we've had just throughout this game, getting everything set up, we're kind of not only coming and crawling back after that Moonlight Shuriken, taking out 2 Dreepies that we didn't get to evolve quick enough, and kind of stumbled on that a little bit. But we've locked our opponent out of the game that they can't really do anything, which is kind of nice. So they're going to play Luminion and then just concede after hitting Abyssal Flames because they know that we got them beat. We have the energy attached for that turn, and even if we didn't, we could just wait for them to take a knockout and then punch with Dragapult EX. So we were able to really showcase the just control aspect that this deck has, but also, let's say in a hypothetical world that this Iron Thorns does get knocked out, right? We have that Dragapult or a good handful of Dreepies on the bench set up and ready to go. Now, one thing I will say that I wish this deck kind of had room for is a mana fee, but it feels like there's just not really room for it. But you're also kind of interesting enough where you're playing 2 Dueling Machine Evolution and you're playing Forge Cloak and Ultra Balls and you're drawing cards. So realistically, you can probably evolve them fast enough and you wouldn't have to worry about it. But like I said, that Jamming Tower really does kind of put a damper on things with this deck sometimes. But we were still able to really just kind of push through that whole matchup, really showcase the strong points of this Dragapult Iron Thorns deck. It has the flexibility to be able to lock opponents out of the game, the flexibility to also be able to just take huge knockouts, spread damage counters, and really just cause a lot of mayhem with this deck. And I really enjoy it for that reason, just causing mayhem and really just putting our opponent in some pretty tough situations. Now, let's jump right in to that outro. Alright, it's going to do it for today's video. I want to make sure to put the deck list that I played in today's video in the description below, so you guys want to try it out for yourself, you'll be able to. And while you're down there, if you're enjoying the content I've been making so far here on the channel, don't forget to leave a like, smash that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And if you want to support the channel even further and be like these awesome 8 people here, you can also become a member here on the Mega Blitz YouTube channel. For only $1 a month, you get exclusive emotes, photo and status updates, priority reply to comments, and a whole lot more. And of course, while you're down there as well, one last thing, make sure to follow me on Twitter and join the Mega Blitz Discord as well. Been really trying to grow the community there on the Discord. Got a lot of cool people in there talking about different decks and deck ideas and just getting together and playing games. And it's always a good time. So definitely make sure to check all that out. But I will see you all in the next one. Peace!